Chapter 11, Rapid Entry. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Practice just 1 hour. Ling Xiao's Qiangong actually broke through the first layer. He could feel that the true qi in his body was obviously thicker, and the whole body was drained of the waste liquid formed by the body transformation, black, a little smelly, although the strength has not increased, but the strength of the qi and the veins have improved, at least by 2 or 3 points. Actually broke through the first layer of red sun gong in just 1 hour. The speed of this practice is really amazing. Ling Xiao was very excited. This inner power mentality has only 3 layers. After practicing to 3 layers of consummation, the air of flame can be contained in the attack, may even form flames. You must know that Gang Qi can only be mastered by martial arts with 4 or more martial arts. This is actually the biggest advantage of martial arts. It's just that because it's difficult to practice to the great consummation, so there are not many practitioners. After all, wasting this time on a set of exercises, it is better to work hard to improve the strength. When the Wumai is fourfold, the true qi is automatically transformed into Gang Qi, but Ling Xiao's idea is different. If he can condense the qi in the awakening stage, then the combat power will definitely improve a lot. Practice Qiangong for another hour, and after fixing it on the first floor, Ling Xiao turned to practice other martial arts. According to the guidance of Xuanhuan, these 5 types of martial arts are carried out in succession in order to achieve a multiplier effect. That is to say, you don't want to promote one kind, but to practice all 5 kinds of martial arts to the first level, and then improve it in a loop. Which works best? Next, he chose Meteor Fist. This is a martial art, a means of attack, and must be learned. As described by Xuanhuan, after learning Red Sun Gong, the practice of Meteor Fist becomes very easy. This set of boxing techniques has a total of 9 types. The moves are very simple. There are 9 types of changes in total. It pursues power, not speed, nor change. Ling Xiao likes this, because it is easier to practice. In just 2 hours, Ling Xiao fully mastered Meteor Fist from the first type to the 6th type, but the latter 3 types are still a bit difficult. However, he did not persevere, but instead went to practice the courage. This is a secret method, all of which have only 1 stage, and the function is also very simple, that is, a large amount of true energy can be condensed on the martial arts in an instant. Of course, the number of outbreaks can be controlled. 60%, 70%, and even 10% can be completely desperate. Although I really want to try the power of Meteor Fist under the Qi, Ling Xiao still resisted. In order to continue the battle, he had to master the return Qi. Returning Qi juice is the same as breaking Qi juice. It is also a secret method. As long as you master the know-how, it is easy to practice, and there is only 1 layer. Relying on the analysis of Xuanhuan, he took only 1 hour to get it. Rejuvenation technique has 2 effects. One is to continuously restore true energy anytime, anywhere. Of course, this speed will be relatively slow. Another option is to meditate on the spot, so that within a quarter of an hour, you can basically recover completely. Of course, it is limited to the awakening stage, that is, the martial arts below the triple martial arts. The higher the revision, the slower natural recovery will be. After all, the true gas reserves have become larger. The cultivation of the first layer of tiger steps down the mountain is also relatively simple. The main thing is to pay attention to the momentum. With the previous foundation, he simply chose to practice this body method in a stormy situation. It took only a quarter of an hour to break through level 1. After, it took a quarter of an hour to return to the air, return to Red Sun Gong, and practice again in a violent manner. The second layer was easily broken through directly. Ling Xiao now really wants to find someone to practice his hands. With the cooperation of the set of Fist of Soul boxing, he believes that even if he is a triple warrior on the martial arts, it is absolutely uncomfortable. Does not dare to say that he will win steadily, but he will never lose unless the opponent also has special exercises. Unexpectedly, Ling Xiao also stepped up his cultivation. Except for going out during the meal, the rest of the time, he completely shut himself in the room. 2 days later, Ling Xiao's Red Sun Gong was close to 3 major consummations. Meteor Fist realized the 7th style, and a total of 908 kinds of changes in tiger steps down the mountain were basically mastered. The problem is that the room is too small to move away at all. If you want to try tiger steps down the mountain, you have to go to a more spacious place. Meteor fist is also the same, you have to go to actual combat. If you practice alone, it is still a bit difficult to fully understand the true meaning of martial arts. At this time his realm of martial arts has also been basically close to the double peak of martial arts. The distance breaks through, but it is only a few centimeters. I need it, maybe it's really just a battle, but before that, he had to go to the auction house in the city. I wonder if those 10 basic martial arts were sold. If you sell it, you should ask the grandfather to see the doctor, and continue to sell the remaining basic martial arts anonymously. Soon, Ling Xiao came to the auction house. The person at the auction house told him that all 10 basic martial arts were sold, for a total of 102 silvers, but there were 92 silvers left after deducting labor costs, has all been transferred to the bank account. For this, Ling Xiao is already very satisfied. Next door is the silver number. Ling Xiao checked it, and it was true, it was 92 silver. So he left 10 basic martial arts in the auction house. Auctioneers did not pay special attention, after all, it was just basic martial arts. They saw much more, took the silver, and Ling Xiao went to hire a doctor who specially treated the bone injury. Who knew that when he first arrived at the side entrance of Ling's family, he saw a group of people. They're practicing light skills. Reading www.bokanshu.com. Although it can be practiced in the martial arts field, there are many trees outside, and there are many beams. The terrain is complex, and it is more suitable for light body exercises. A figure jumped directly into the tree, just like the spirit ape, flickering a few times, and then fell to the ground. The good body method, Brother Ling Fei's light body exercises, is the first in the elite hall. No one can reach it. Yeah, even if there are some shortcomings in other places, but the mere body method can make many peers very uncomfortable. Isn't it? The martial arts in the world can only be broken fast. This kind of body style and speed can't make up for this year's annual competition. Brother Ling Fei wants to become the elite. Where is the group of people shouting non-stop? I don't know how my tiger goes down the mountain. How does this compare to Ling Fei? That this scene really makes Ling Xiao feel itchy. Ling Fei's lightweight exercises are indeed powerful. He must admit this, but he is not too convinced. Perhaps encouraged by those people, Ling Fei deliberately changed several directions continuously in the air, and the movement was very elegant. It was just because of the lack of strength, and finally almost fell off. Fortunately, he saw Ling Xiao, so he tried to step on Ling Xiao's shoulder, so as not to lose face. Ling Xiao is invincible with Ling Fei, but he is not willing to let him step on his shoulders, so he just lifted his feet and kicked into the sky, giving Ling Fei a place to trample on. Ling Fei fell to the ground, but his face was a little angry. Brother Ling is so powerful, that's fine, it's like a flying swallow. They didn't realize that Ling Fei was too proud to be almost ugly, so they tried hard to boast. Chapter 12, Good Luck. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ling Xiao noticed Ling Fei's expression and shook his head. These disciples of this race have eyes higher than the top, and they still have a narrow mind. He can step on your shoulders casually. If you help him with your feet, he will be angry. Too lazy to compare with this Ling Fei. He was also anxious to let the doctor go to see Grandpa. Who knows that just after taking a step, suddenly a white shadow flashed over, and the medicine chest in the doctor's hand was missing, was actually hanged by Ling Fei on a tree branch more than 10 meters high. What are you doing? Asked Ling Xiao, frowning. Nothing, just want to try your light skills. Lin Fei said calmly, as if he had done a trivial thing. Who is that person? Several disciples couldn't help but look at Ling Xiao, all confused. Of course, there are also people who know Ling Xiao. He used to be a beggar. He entered our Ling family through the family exam 1 year ago. This year, his strength was only one thing. He also offended the disciples of the 2 elite halls of Ling Chong and Ling Feng, and even Ling Yu, who was considerate to him at first, has now become Brother Ling Feng's woman. Well, I have heard of this man too. Brother Ling Chong let him. He didn't know how to sneak attacks by vile means. It's shameless. However, he seems to have been promoted to Wumai Duo. He went to the bookstore a few days ago and was punished for wanting to steal books. This kind of person really doesn't deserve to be our children of the Ling family. No wonder Brother Ling Fei wants to tease him. I don't think this medicine box can be taken down today, he shouldn't take it lightly. Those Ling family disciples who complimented Ling Fei like dog legs, now evaluate Ling Xiao with a mocking and disgusting tone. It seems that he is first class. I just teased him to play, and you just saw it, he actually tried to attack me. Ling Fei shamelessly reversed black and white in an attempt to give a reasonable explanation of his approach. Ling Xiao frowned. Sure enough, there is no strength, it can only be bullied everywhere. Lin Chong, Ling Feng, Ling Fei, Ling Yu, if you have always been a heavy waste of Wumai, I am afraid that there will be more people who bully him in the future. Anyway, today I just want to try the power of Tiger. Goes down the mountain, didn't pay any attention to Ling Fei and others. He looked at the medicine chest hanging on the 10-meter-high tree branch, and suddenly urged the real energy. Tiger steps down the mountain was launched. Hey, let me go. Ling Xiao did not expect this to be too hard, and actually hit the tree with one end. Sure enough, for the first time using this mighty stance, it was still a bit uncontrollable. Ha ha ha. What a fool. Ling Fei and others looked laughing, some people even squatted directly on the ground, and tears came out. Ling Xiao did not care, is everything for the first time, just too hard, this time just a little bit of effort. Mountain and river martial spirit urged, a just right chi poured into his legs. Tiger steps down the mountain suddenly started. Ling Xiao seemed to be a tiger coming out of the mountain, roaring towards the trunk. This time, he managed to climb into the tree, but there was still a distance from the medicine chest. However, this time, the laughter froze, and everyone was stunned. Ling Fei was also taken aback. He can see that Ling Xiao's body style should not be bad. Such light work, even some of the disciples in the elite hall, may not be comparable. It's alright Brother Ling Fei, this kid didn't understand it himself. Yeah, you see that his expression is still confused. It must be that the blind cat touched the dead mouse, it is pure luck. Yes, even if he got the lightweight exercises from the library, but how can he learn it in just a few days? Just now that was just urged by the real energy, it jumped relatively high. Despite their ugly faces, these people can always find reasons to comfort themselves, but then, they really couldn't find a reason, only heard a low-pitched sound. Ling Xiao was like a fierce tiger, and like a smart bobcat, stepped on the tree trunk, his body floated lightly, and then grabbed the medicine chest and floated down again, landed firmly on the ground. At this time those people have no reason to comfort themselves. Such light work. I am afraid that Ling Fei may not be comparable. Intermediate body skills are really powerful. I don't know how Xiang Yunbu is compared to Tiger steps down the mountain. After going back, try to see if you can practice Xiang Yunbu. Ling Xiao's heart was very happy, is not only because of the attacks on those who slander him, but more importantly, he is now more and more confident in the future. Is this guy a genius? Yeah, it's never going to be so light in a few days to be so superb, that's too ridiculous. That the people who have come back to God are a little bit unconvinced. Some people here have practiced light skills for a year or two, and they can't compare with Ling Xiao. Naturally, I feel uncomfortable. Come on, doctor, my grandpa is still waiting to see a doctor. The doctor also looked a little dumbfounded, and was reminded by Ling Xiao before he recovered. This gentleman, your light skills are really eye-opening for the old man. The doctor is just an ordinary person, so at this time, Ling Xiao has been regarded as a certain son of the Ling family, otherwise there will be such good kung fu. Young man. You are a fool, this guy is just a little beggar, just luck, just have the ability to do it again. Yeah, definitely come back again, that the disciples shouted loudly, apparently not convinced that a little beggar was riding on his head. Ling Xiao wanted to leave, but these people stopped him. To tell the truth, a person has no confidence in winning so many people. After all, including Ling Fei, there are several warriors with triple martial arts in UU. Reading www.akonchu.com. Since these people still want to be ashamed, let's show them light power again. Anyway, the tiger steps down the mountain is just the foundation. What he really wants to practice is Xiang Yunbu, even if it is exposed. Since you want to see it, let me show you again. To say nothing, Ling Xiao pointed to a fruit on the big tree and said, just that fruit, I take it down, you don't need to be entangled. Brout you, the fruit is about 20 meters from the ground, brother Ling Fei may not be able to do it. That is, if you can really take down the fruit, I will crawl around the tree twice and learn how to bark. Lin Fei also said indifferently, for the warrior triple warrior, the highest limit of light skill can fly is about 15 meters, this Ling Xiao cowhide blows up. He said it was common sense, and the disciples of the Ling family beside him also agreed, waiting to see Ling Xiao's jokes. Is it? Ling Xiao chuckled, then Ling Fei and revenge, and now some people want to learn dog barking, just kill the prestige of these guys, prevent them from bullying themselves in the future. He's secretly luck, true chi condensed in the martial veins, and then flowed into the legs through the meridians. Courage. The tiger goes down the mountain. Ling Xiao is very clear, Ling Fei's words are correct, but if he uses a violent trick, his tiger will reach the range of more than 20 meters down the mountain, which is absolutely possible. Call. A gust of wind sounded, Ling Xiao stepped up into the air, and instantly jumped out a distance of nearly 20 meters high. Seeing that the fruit was about to be successfully harvested, a stone suddenly shot from the side. Chapter 13, Snow Fairy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ling Xiao has long been wary of someone's hand in hand. These narrow-minded people can do anything, so when Scherzier flew, and when he was about to hit his door, he suddenly punched, uses the seventh form of meteor boxing flying star and rain, the stone was hit and then flew back in the direction of the flight. What? Heard only one person screaming, but Ling Xiao had no time to see it. At this time, he was close to the fruit, so he picked the fruit first, but just because he hit flying stones, he now has no power to continue to vacate. Critical moment, Ling Xiao did not give up, with the remaining true energy, suddenly punched the ground, meteor star boxing 8 skyfire assault. This punch is very strong, and the reverse attack, the thrust generated just enough to make his feet reach the fruit. Whether it is a hand or a foot, if you pick the fruit, you will win. Fruit was kicked in his foot, and then fell down. He took it in his hand, and then the body fell down. When he saw a direct high-speed collision with the earth, his body was forced to pause for about a meter from the ground. The rejuvenation tactic worked. And finally there was no ugliness at the last moment. And the movement was not embarrassing. Who just said to learn to bark around the tree? Ling Xiao sneered and squeezed the fruit in his hand and asked. Those who had just clamored suddenly became dumb at this time, and refused to speak with their heads down one by one. Ling Xiao knew that this group of guys were courageous. He smiled disdainfully and did not continue to press, but waved to the doctor and walked towards the courtyard. In his opinion, things should be considered over here anyway. He is not the opponent of so many people. Just leave after finishing, it's really exciting. But he didn't expect that after just 2 steps, someone howled again. Stinky boy, you stop me. If you hit someone and want to run. Ling Xiao looked back, and it was Ling Fei who shouted. Lin Fei's complexion was blue, his eyes were breathing fire, and his anger was like a fighting cock. However, the momentum formed by his martial arts triple strength still brought huge pressure to the people around him. Beating? When did I hit someone? Ling Xiao asked suspiciously. Although Ling Fei is stronger than him, but the other party is too deceiving, he does not need to counsel. Arrow. I was stupid. Lin Fei coldly hummed. Don't you break his forehead? The blood has flowed like this, you haven't even admitted it. As soon as I said this, there were a few people who were not so embarrassed, but most people were as shameless as Ling Fei. That is, a foreigner who dared to beat our disciples of the Ling family, really ate the bear heart leopard. Brother Ling, teach him lessons. Beat this little beggar. Why should he practice martial arts with our Ling family children? Yes, he is not qualified. That is really exciting. Ling Xiao knew long ago that these gang disciples of the Ling family couldn't look down on these foreigners, but they did not expect these people to be so shameless. He smiled angrily. When I was just picking fruit, someone secretly calculated me with a stone, and I was shot away by the stone. If he was injured, it should be deserved. People live a face, trees live a skin. When he didn't awaken Xuanhuan, he wasn't afraid of anyone. Now that he has awakened Xuanhuan, should he still confess to these people? Not to mention that the other party made it clear that he was deliberately finding faults. It's not as good as that. Good boy, dare to talk back. Brother Ling, what do you say? Onlookers, except for a few who really felt blushed, quietly retreated to the side, and the rest went to Ling Xiao, obviously because of losing face. This is to fight Ling Xiao. Sister is back, that I don't know who called it. All the people who were staring at Ling Xiao who were preparing for a group fight suddenly looked in the same direction. It was a girl in white. Like a fairy in the snow, she has a bright eyebrow and a bright skin, although she just walks so far, but she is fascinated by everyone. How can there be such a perfect woman in the world? This is simply the goddess created by heaven and earth. A teenager almost finished this sentence on his knees, and there was no Ling Xiao in his eyes. At this time, he was completely occupied by the woman in white. Ling Xiao, a 16-year-old female disciple ranked third in the elite hall, is said to have already practiced the 3 peaks of Wumai, and is only 1 line away from the fourfold of Wumai. Ling Xiao also looked at Ling Xiao. After all, this woman is also the perfect woman in his mind. It's just that his performance is much better than others. His appreciation of Ling Xiao is not only because of beauty, but also because of Ling Xiao's strength. Ling Xiao, like him, was an outside disciple who entered the Ling family through the exam, but the situation was very different. The girl reached the triple peak of martial arts within a year, defeated elite hall disciples again and again, and was successfully promoted to elite hall third. All of her resources are obtained by her own efforts, rather than relying on her own advantages like the 10th Ling Feng of the elite hall. Genius probably refers to this kind of person. The goal of Ling Xiao was Ling Xiao, because he thinks that his qualification is absolutely no less than Ling Xiao. Yu reading www.yuukangshu.com. Actually, this fact also proves this. If it were not for practicing the remnant skills, his entry might be faster, and it is estimated that it would not be worse than Ling Xiao. It's just that Xuanhuan lost his horse and knew nothing but lost many things, but he got the woo-woo soul of mountains and rivers, which is a kind of luck. Before this, he really couldn't dare to look at Ling Xiao, because of inferiority. When he entered the Ling family, both of them were very optimistic, but now the situation is different between winter and summer. However, today, he doesn't care much. Ling Xiao is a genius, but he will soon catch up. When Ling Xiao approached, the children of the Ling family headed by Ling Fei stepped forward to say hello. It was called an attentive, it was called a passion. Seeing this scene, Ling Xiao found out that this world is really a world respected by the strong. If his strength is strong enough, Ling Fei will not dare to trouble him, but will respect him very much. By that time, no one would dare to call a little beggar in front of him. At most it's just whispers in the back. Through the crowd, he admired the beauty of Ling Xiao, and the mountain and river martial arts also started to run, and the situation of Ling Xiao was thoroughly analyzed by the mountain and river martial spirits. Sure enough, the true qi has begun to change, and part of the true qi has condensed into gang qi. When these quantitative changes are qualitatively changed, it is time for Ling Xiao to break into the gang qi stage and enter the fourfold of Wumai. Ling Xiao felt a little stressed, but there is pressure to be motivated. You have to work harder. I just saw you around him. Why? To Ling Xiao's surprise, Ling Xiao still remembered him. Chapter 14, Lighter. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sister like this. The people headed by Ling Fei talked about what happened before. Of course, the beginning and end of the things that come out of these populations are naturally artistically processed. Anyway, they haven't done anything that reversed black and white. For them, it's already a good show. Is that right? Ling Xiao looked at Ling Xiao indifferently and asked. Ling Xiao wanted to explain, but he refrained from speaking to his mouth. Resolve your own affairs. What is going on with a woman? And in case you say it and people don't believe it, wouldn't it be embarrassing? Thought of this, he did not speak. Seeing that there is no sister, he has already defaulted. Ling Fei said aloud. Ling Fei, are you still a man? What happened just now? You know better than me. Why, now you want to pull sister Ling Xiao? Ling Xiao suddenly sneered. Stinky boy, can you say that again? The so-called slender lady, gentleman is good. Ling Xiao is at Ling's house. That is the object of many people's crush, including Ling Fei, of course, so he didn't want to lose face in front of Ling Xiao anyway. I'm talking about facts. Why don't you dare? Ling Xiao said lightly. Okay. Xiao world is here today. I will not fight with you, but you can get his medical expenses, and also apologize to him in front of everyone. Lin Fei really wanted to beat Ling Xiao, but Ling Xiao was present. He was not easy to shoot, so as not to be bullied, so he played a heroic role as a justice. Apologize? Oh, want me to apologize to a shameless calculator? Ling Fei, you are not confused, Ling Xiao said. Even Ling Xiao could not help frowning. She just thought Ling Xiao was a little too self-confident. People who have just been promoted to Wumai duplex, dare to call Ling Fei of Ban Wumai triple, is this not pure death? In Ling Xiao's view, the strength is called the guts, and the strength is called the unknown. Sister, you have heard that this man hurt his own child, but he refused to apologize. As a brother, I had to take a lesson and teach him. Lin Fei looked at Ling Xiao, he was looking for a reason to shoot. My own children, beating and killing will always hurt the peace. Just before I hear you say, Ling Xiao seems to be good at light power, it is worse than you to light power. If you win, I will let him apologize. Ling Xiao said lightly. Sister's words, I hear. How about Ling Xiao, do you dare to compare with me? Although Ling Fei saw Ling Xiao's light merits, he was not afraid. At first, he was more confident and felt that he was still better than Ling Xiao. Second, Ling Xiao had obviously already consumed almost his qi. Take advantage. Don't you dare, Ling Xiao sneered in your heart, don't you want to show off in front of Ling Xiao? Well, then I will make you completely ashamed. Ling Fei's light skills he had seen before, and he didn't see how clever. Of course, if the tiger steps down the mountain alone, he probably can't beat Ling Fei, but he has the power of mountain and river Wuhuan. The analysis and drill function of mountain and river Wuhuan can allow him to seize the opportunity in any competition. This is the advantage that Ling Fei does not have. Okay, you're a bit brave, but I'm just afraid of being stupid and bold. Lin Fei sneered, then looked at Ling Xiao and said, Sister, please trouble you to be a witness, so that someone will not admit it after losing. Not to mention, Ling Xiao is still interested in the fight between Ling Fei and Ling Xiao, because in the elite hall, Ling Fei definitely ranks in the top 3. This year's annual comparison, Ling Fei may become an opponent. Observe first, there is no harm, after all, as an outside disciple, Ling Xiao can only get a lot of rewards through various competitions within the clan, otherwise it can't be compared with his clan disciples. She is a very practical person, and she can't say anything that is better than doing anything. When my children secretly practiced advanced exercises, no one felt unfair. Of course, Ling Xiao has no interest in Ling Xiao. The reason why she is willing to help is that she feels that everyone is an outside disciple, and it is too bad for Ling Xiao to be bullied. Originally thought that Ling Xiao took the initiative to admit defeat, and then the apology ended. Who knows that Ling Xiao is so ignorant? He even agreed to try lighter with Ling Fei, even if she is not an opponent of Ling Fei's light merits. Ling Xiao has just been promoted to Wumai Duo for a few days. How could she win it? This is basically a competition of great strength, and the outcome has already been decided. At this time, there were more people watching on the spot. Many people came to Ling Xiao. I heard that Ling Fei was going to compare with Ling Xiao, but they were all disdainful, is not looking down on Ling Fei, but feels that this match is really boring. Is there any suspense in the speed race between the goshawk and the turtle? Ling Fei has always said that he will use the stunt at the bottom of the press box during the annual competition, but today in front of Sister Ling Xiao, he estimated that he was going to perform as close as possible. Hey, watch it lively. Everyone smiled and appreciated Ling Xiao's beauty while watching Ling Fei warm up there. As for Ling Xiao, who cares about a person who will lose? I haven't said how, someone asked. Old rules, let's follow the 3 items that we usually try to do better. Yu Kanshu www.yuyukanshu.com. Which 3 items? The first one is called Lingkong Shudu, draw a line as the starting line, and after taking off, look at the distance where the feet do not touch the ground. This is the light power far. The second one is called climbing the ladder, without relying on foreign objects, to see who is flying higher in height. This is a light skill high. There is also a third item that is faster than the fight method. 100 meters at a distance of 1 back and forth, whoever is faster will win, that the 3 items are very simple, and the evaluation criteria are also very simple. The more such competition, the more you can see the strength of a person, because the possibility of cheating is relatively low. Brother Fong Kai Ling Xiao has already used light work. It is estimated that the consumption is not small. Then as a brother, I will let him once, I will come first. Lin Fei thought that in a short time, Ling Xiao's true energy could never be recovered. That's why he did this. Not only can he appear fair and noble, but he can also have a long face in front of Ling Xiao. However, if he knew that Ling Fei's rejuvenation tactics could fully restore his true energy in a quarter of an hour, he was afraid that he would not make such a stupid decision. Brother Ling is worthy of being Brother Ling. Unlike some people, he hurts people and refuses to apologize. I really don't deserve to be our Ling family. Okay, don't say it anyway. Brother Ling won, and Ling Xiao had to apologize. Heard the voice of discussion. Ling Fei was very satisfied. He stood on the starting line and was ready to take off. Start. That with Ling Xiao's order, Ling Fei took off from the sky like a swift, and flew forward. Amazing. It has to be 15 meters away, it's breaking the record again. Chapter 15, Amazing Body Style. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Flying through the distance of 15 meters, taking it alone doesn't seem to feel that much, but you can see by comparison. At present, among elite disciples, 14.5 meters is the best result, and this achievement is also a record created by Ling Fei. In other words, he broke his own record. At this time, everyone was shocked. This Ling Fei may be mediocre, but the light merit is really the elite hall first. I can't match you. Ling Xiao opened Zhu lightly and shook his head. Sister is polite. I am also good at light work, and nothing else can get into the eyes of Sister Fa. Lin Fei said with a smile, the modesty on his mouth, but his face was completely excited. Long face in front of Ling Xiao. Can he be unhappy? Brother Ling Fei, can't you slow down your progress? Wait for our brother. Ha ha ha, as long as you work hard, you can do it. The second project is next. The second project, Ling Fei, still gave everyone a great visual impact. 18 meters high, jumped up, and then fell to the ground, not only chic, but also very stable. Next, it's you, Ling Xiao, the speed competition. You want 2 people together, you should finish the first 2 projects first. After completing the tests of the first 2 projects, Ling Fei looked at Ling Xiao and said with a smile, at this time, everyone's eyes finally focused on Ling Xiao's body, but in this eyes there was disdain, and there was a little pity. Is like a beggar who has mercy on the roadside. No one believes that Ling Xiao has more light functions than Ling Fei, including everyone who watched the lively crowd before. No need to remind you. Ling Xiao smiled faintly and walked to the starting line. If he only talks about light merit, he is indeed inferior to Ling Fei. This is certain. However, he practiced the Qi, which can nearly double the effect of light power in an instant. Beyond Ling Fei, maybe not a problem. Pretend. Saw Ling Xiao standing indifferently on the starting line. Everyone was a little uncomfortable. Start. As Ling Xiao's voice sounded, Ling Xiao also took off. At the beginning, he didn't use the violent tactics, which can save a little bit of calculation. After all, there are 3 projects. He does not need to be too shocking, as long as it exceeds Ling Fei. This kid is good at light work. Although he doesn't have Ling Fei's dashing ease, it's also quite decent. Ling Xiao frowned slightly. She really didn't expect that Ling Xiao could master her body skill in such a short time. When about 12 meters away, Ling Xiao's body began to fall. Lose. As I said earlier, he can't compare with brother Ling Fei. But 12 meters is not bad. Anyway, it's not too ugly. However, at this moment, Ling Xiao, who was about to land, suddenly seemed to be pushed by something, and suddenly jumped out more than 4 meters before landing. The scene was silent, as if all were dumb. More than 16 meters. Ling Xiao was the first to speak, and the surprise in her eyes had turned into shock. What happened to Ling Xiao? How could he enter the country so fast? I'm right, is it more than 16 meters? It's not wrong, but what's the matter with this kid? Just flew out a few meters away suddenly. Cheating, Ling Fei shouted suddenly. Not cheating. Ling Xiao shook her head and said, as a child of the Ling family, haven't you heard of the secret method of violent secret? There is in the library. Flame's secret. Ling Fei, of course, heard of it, but the practice of the secret method has always been more difficult than the practice method. The key is that understanding is very difficult. He had never thought that Ling Xiao had actually learned. Ling Fei was not convinced, but there was no way to tremble with anger, but he had to admit defeat. The second item, climb the ladder. Ling Xiao's movements are never as chic and elegant as Ling Fei, but they are very practical. As before, the use of the gastronomy tactics is also when I feel about to fall. About 12 meters in height, he still reached 20 meters. The second item, Ling Xiao wins. Both the emptiness of the sky and the ascent of the sky, they all won. This is a drop of eyeballs. No one dare to say that Ling Xiao can't do anything. Although his light performance is ugly, he is not weak. Do you use more than the third item, brother Ling Fei? Ling Xiao looked at Ling Fei's face that had turned into pig liver and asked lightly. Comparing. Why not? Comparing the way of doing things, focusing on speed. Ling Fei's words were almost roared. Yeah, the face I wanted to give you, now it's over, why not? Ling Xiao said. The little cat is crying and the child is crying. I don't believe you can win the third item. Ling Fei can be sure that Ling Xiao will be exhausted by now, and absolutely cannot maintain the third competition. If you can easily win Ling Xiao in the third item, it would be a test loss. You can save a lot of face, and even take the opportunity to humiliate Ling Xiao. But it's always a bit of a win. I won, I really don't need to be with you to continue wasting time. Ling Xiao originally invited the doctor to come back to heal the grandfather. This is good. People didn't enter the yard and were stuck here for almost half an hour. If he didn't ask for any benefits, he really didn't want to compare. Promise you. If you can still win, I will pay all the money your grandfather needs for healing. Ling Fei had no choice but to say so, otherwise Ling Xiao would not compare. He could not force Yu to read the book www.yuyukeangshu.com, otherwise his face would be even worse today. No, I have money. If it was before, Ling Xiao might agree to such a condition, but now, he is really not rare. So what do you want? Ling Fei shouted. A breakthrough pill. Ling Xiao intends to at least break through to the Wumai triple in the annual comparison. This breakthrough Dan is indispensable. This is too much. Yeah, the demand is so high, who will use the breakthrough Dan as a jackpot? It can't be said in fact. After all, if Ling Xiao wins in 3 innings, he has already won. There is no need to go to the third inning. There are still people who understand the matter, which makes Ling Xiao have a little hope for this family. Reluctant to give it, right? Then forget it. Ling Xiao shrugged his shoulders, so he greeted the doctor to leave. Okay. I promise you, Ling Fei shouted. Brother Ling Fei, don't be impulsive. Yes, brother Ling Fei, not worth it. Don't you even believe me? Ling Fei's face is getting more ugly now, because from the comments of the onlookers, he can find that from being confident in him to distrusting him now, it shows that he has just been ashamed. Not shallow, then the third item should be compared, and the face must be saved. Sister Ling Xiao, you give a testimony, these people's commitment is the same as fart, I can't believe it easily. Ling Xiao looked at Ling Xiao and said. Yes, if he doesn't give it, I will give it for him. Ling Xiao has also had a strong interest in Ling Xiao's body style, so she actually wants to continue watching. Chapter 16, Breakthrough. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Okay, sister's words, I believe, then brother Ling Fei, let's start. No need to hurry. Ling Fei and Ling Xiao stood on the starting line at the same time, and stood 2 disciples of the Ling family about 100 meters away from the starting line. The 2 of them would run around the 2 disciples and then come back. Whoever arrives first will win. Don't pay attention to flying or beautiful, just speed. At this time, the eyes of the onlookers all cast their eyes on Ling Xiao. They are like knowing that Ling Xiao has created 2 miracles in a row. can give them another surprise. Start. That with Ling Xiao's order, Ling Xiao and Ling Fei flew like swifts, and a tiger came down like a tiger, and ejected almost at the same time. It's just that Ling Fei is in the air, but Ling Xiao is running like a tiger. Ha ha, what the is this, does he think he is a tiger? True ugly. Some disciples who supported Ling Fei laughed. Ling Fei was also happy in his heart, but he didn't have time to watch Ling Xiao's movements. He still won the game first. The laughter almost stopped abruptly, because Ling Xiao's movements are ugly and not fake, but running is like a tiger, and even the tiger is blowing the wind, driving the fluctuation of the air. S speed is absolutely not inferior to Ling Fei. When bypassing two Ling family disciples, the two people are almost in sync. Ling Fei is only less than Ling Xiao, faster than Ling Xiao. However, they are all aware that Ling Xiao will be arrogant. Can almost keep up with Ling Fei without using the Qi. If the Qi is used, what will happen to call? A gust of wind told them the answer. Turned back, Ling Xiao suddenly violent, body like a flying arrow off the string, instantly reached the end, almost out of Ling Fei 3 positions. God, this guy is crazy too. Someone stood up and exclaimed. More people look dull. Because they know what it means to have such a fast speed, which will occupy a huge advantage in combat. How exactly did he do it? Brother Ling Fei's speed is already very fast. Among the elite disciples, he is definitely one of the best. How could this Ling Xiao be 3 positions faster than him? This guy is a monster. It has only been 2 or 3 days since he entered the library. Now, he can actually practice light skills to such an extent. This is impossible. Impossible. How can I lose? How can I lose? Ling Fei looked pale and bloodless and knelt on the ground. Is over, and the popularity that has accumulated over the years is ruined like this, and a breakthrough pill is also needed. Is the gastronomy really so powerful? He doesn't think so much. In fact, one of his brothers has also practiced a violent formula. S purpose is the same as Ling Xiao's. However, it turns out that although Qi Ju can indeed increase speed, strength, and so on in an instant, however, the instantaneous consumption is also huge, and it can't be consumed at all. Ling Xiao, what's going on? He couldn't figure it out at all. 3 times in a row, it seems that you still have the power. Is this guy really evil? Whether he can understand it or not, the comparison is over. Ling Xiao won, and 3 victories. Ling Fei lost a complete mess. In this competition of light skills and body skills, Ling Xiao wins. Younger brother, you really have to hide this breakthrough pill you hold. Ling Xiao took out a breakthrough dan and gave it to Ling Xiao. She was very clear in her heart that she could ask Ling Fei with Ling Xiao. It was not possible, but she didn't need it. Ling Fei would send it over. In fact, because they entered the Ling family at the time, the talents of the 2 people are basically the same, so Ling Xiao has always paid attention to Ling Xiao. However, as the gap between the 2 grows larger, the chances of contact become less and less. It was not until today that he seemed to see the once high-spirited and motivated Ling Xiao. Thank you, sister. Then everyone, can I go now? Ling Xiao took the breakthrough dan from Ling Xiao's hand, fingers touched the girl's skin. That moment was like an electric shock. This feeling is too special. Is this what boys expect from girls? Is it a feeling every boy gets when he reaches a certain age? Not bad. I really want to hold Ling Xiao's palm all the time, soft and smooth, and mild heat. In this scene, it was seen that others were breathing fire. Ling Xiao smiled faintly, took breakthrough dan, said thank you, and then walked towards the courtyard. This matter is finally over now. He can't stand it anymore, and he can't stand it anymore. It is estimated that the doctor is impatient. The children of the Ling family who were originally on the road all gave way. This is the majesty of the strong. Ling Xiao won Ling Fei with her strength, and she deserves such respect. Master, you are so amazing. The doctor not only did not feel annoyed, but also gave thumbs up to Ling Xiao, but also a face of worship. Ling Xiao smiled bitterly. If you are a pretty girl. Come on, doctor, I have delayed you too much time today, and I will be rewarded later. Where are you going to waste? At the moment of entering the hospital, 2 people came face to face. One of them was Ling Chong, Ling Xiao's son, is the unlucky egg whose rib was broken by Ling Xiao, didn't expect it to be just a few days later, and it was already alive and well. I just went to the place where you lived, but I didn't find it. Very good. Now that I have run into it, let's count the old and the new hatreds together. Last time you didn't know what to do. I calculated your son. I must beat you today. Find teeth all over the place. By the way, it is best to also break a few ribs. Ling Chong's face was filled with excitement and viciousness. He stayed at home for a few days to heal his head. Yu reading www.yuukangshu.com is almost suffocating. Every day I don't want to avenge my hatred. Every day I don't want to find Ling Xiao to breathe out. Although his father spoke badly for him in the library, it was not enough. He wants to defeat Ling Xiao personally and make Ling Xiao ugly in front of everyone. Last time, he was defeated in one move, and he was suffocated. Next to him is his cousin, his disciple of Wumai Duplex Peak, looking. Ling Chong is worried about Ling Xiao running away, so he also brought a helper. What happened? Ling Xiao also noticed the situation here and asked frowningly. Sister, don't you know it? Before entering the library, Ling Xiao used a mean method to win brother Ling Chong, and also interrupted his ribs. Brother Ling Chong is here to take revenge. Vile means? It seems that brother Ling Chong let him, he did not know what to do, and suddenly attacked. Do you believe this kind of nonsense? When Ling Chong confronted others, when did he keep his hand? Ling Xiao sneered, although she is like a fairy, but she also eats fireworks in the world, she understands the warmth of humanity and understands some of the situation inside the Ling family. Ling Xiao's encounter, she actually encountered, but because the entry is faster, so there are fewer encounters, she has decided to help. Ling Xiao has just tried it with Ling Fei, and the consumption of true energy must be very large. At this time, if he encounters Ling Chong, even if he can be an enemy, he may not be an opponent. However, unlike her, someone is happy. Ling Fei lost to Ling Xiao. He noticed that Ling Xiao was stopped by Ling Chong, and an expression of schadenfreude suddenly appeared on his face. Chapter 17, Another Trick. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Let's talk nonsense. If you want to do it, do it. Ling Xiao didn't like to cause trouble, but she wasn't afraid of it, not to mention Ling Chong hadn't been taken by him for a long time, plus Ling Xiao's all kinds of obstructions to his cultivation. Buddy, I can't beat you, and can't clean up your son. Oh, it's kind of interesting, isn't you afraid? Ling Chong said with a sneer, don't think that you have broken through to the double of Wumai, you can put a fork in front of your son, today you must kneel. He has the capital to despise Ling Xiao, has broken through the second half of Wumai's double peak cultivation, plus advanced martial arts. You talk too much nonsense, I have to go and treat grandpa. Ling Xiao looked at Ling Chong. At this time Ling Chong was like a clown in front of him. Stinky boy, make you crazy. Ling Chong found that he had been bullied for almost a year and looked down on the garbage. His heart burst into flames, and his whole body poured into his palms. A few days later, his giant spirit palm received the personal guidance of his father, and he was much stronger than the last time, plus his father got a lot of elixir for him. He is confident. The palm blasted out, really as if a giant spirit came into the world. The palm wind blew, and the blowing Ling Xiao's hair kept flying. Good guy, this Ling Chong has already realized the Palian palm to this point. I'm afraid it is 30% standard. After all, advanced martial arts are difficult to master. Taking Ling Chong Wumai's double peak cultivation as an example, you can master the 30% level, which is already very powerful, so even Ling Xiao was surprised, but then he was a little unhappy. This talent of Ling Chong is not as good as her, and her efforts are not as good as her, but you can get a lot of immortality in advanced martial arts. This is really unfair. Ling Xiao is now about to break through the fourfold of Wumai, and he has obtained a senior martial arts by virtue of his talents. She knows the difficulty of advanced martial arts, is also well aware of the power of advanced martial arts. Even if only 30% of the power, advanced martial arts crush all intermediate martial arts. This is the gap in grade. This momentum. This power. This speed. Sure enough, it is at least twice stronger than the last time. Sure enough, having a good father is good. Although Ling Xiao does not take Ling Chong in his eyes, he will never belittle his enemies in battle. Xuanhuan's soul is running, all the information of Ling Chong is displayed, so he can be sure that although Ling Chong has not broken through, the actual combat ability is at least twice stronger than before. Is just a little unstable, not solid. The reason may be that there are too many medicines. Skyfire raid. Using the mountain and river Wuhuan to find out Ling Chong's weakness, Ling Xiao no longer hesitated. Red Sun Gong urged, his fists became red, and then tiger steps down the mountain was displayed, just like a tiger rushed to Ling Chong. Today Ling Xiao does not intend to evade the giant spirit palm, this will hit the other party even more. Lest Ling Chong come to trouble him later, but he has no time to accompany this guy. Faced Ling Xiao's counterattack, Ling Chong was obviously taken aback. He did not expect that Ling Xiao actually understood such a fierce fist, but if you think about it for a long time, the palm of your own spirit is advanced martial arts, and the opponent's meteor fist is only intermediate martial arts, so you don't have to be afraid. However, what happened to Ling Chong happened next. Courageous recipe. In order to completely defeat Ling Chong, Ling Xiao once again used the Qi formula. This time, he did not spare energy, but completely exploded the true Qi in his body. Meteor Star Boxing 8 Skyfire Assault. Under the horror blessing of the arrogant tactics, the power has once again increased several times. At that moment, Ling Chong's eyes were no longer Ling Xiao, but a burning meteorite. Is a tiger flying from the sky? Boom! Didn't have any fancy, and his fist and palm hit hard. The superiority of advanced martial arts giant spirit palm is strength and momentum. And the advantages of meteor fist are also strength and momentum. The collision between a giant and a meteorite. With the aid of the Qi Ju, Ling Xiao played the 8th style of meteor strike in meteor fist to the point where even advanced martial arts were prohibitive. Advanced martial arts are blunt, that is, the power is stronger, but if the power of intermediate martial arts increases several times, then there is almost no gap. Gam. What? Lin Chong howled. His arms were actually broken by Ling Xiao's horrible force, and then the impact made his body unbearable, and flew out directly. Boom! Ling Chong, who flew out, hit the wall, and a spit of blood spit out of his mouth. His eyes became confused. Don't you die? This power, even Ling Xiao himself was taken aback. He was really afraid that he would directly kill Ling Chong. If he is really killed, Ling Xiao will definitely come to him desperately. After all, killing and wounding are two concepts. No. Impossible. How could my advanced martial arts lose to you? How could it be? Ling Chong was not dead. He slid to the ground, struggling to stand up, but his hands were hanging there, unable to lift up. He shook his head excitedly and could not believe the result at all. Is another trick. Ling Chong was defeated by Ling Xiao again and again. The disciples of the Ling family at the scene were all breathing nervously. This kind of result, they really can't accept it. Fighting with warriors of the same level, although it is said that the outcome is unpredictable, anyone can win, but one move is defeated, which is really unacceptable. What's more, the losing side also cultivated advanced martial arts that are also strong in strength. Just die, then I will not accompany. Ling Xiao confirmed that Ling Chong was not dead, and hurriedly led the doctor away. At this moment, his true energy was really exhausted. If there is still someone to provoke, Yu reads www.yuukangshu.com. He can't cope with it. Watching Ling Xiao leave, Ling Xiao's mouth twitched slightly. This result, she had not expected. Unexpectedly, violent juice combined with meteor fist can actually exert a more terrible power than the advanced martial arts Julan God Palm. This Ling Xiao may be amazing in the annual comparison. Sister, what demon trick Ling Xiao used? How could he defeat Ling Chong in one move? Ling Fei was very jealous when he watched Ling Chong being taken away for treatment, because Ling Xiao defeated Ling Chong in front of Ling Xiao. That left Ling Xiao a deep impression. Demon. I advise you to concentrate on martial arts. Don't think about things all day. Your qualifications are good. If you are more attentive, you can't lose the light skills test today. Ling Xiao said coldly. Although it is the same as Wumai double training, Ling Xiao's true energy is thicker than Ling Chong, and he is also good at using the coordination between martial arts. Tiger steps down the mountain, violent secret, Qiangong, who can do it except him? This. Why is Ling Xiao so powerful? Is he always playing the pig and eating the tiger? Someone asked. It should not be possible, he may suddenly have an epiphany. Ling Xiao shook his head and said. But where did he come from so many intermediate martial arts? Asked again. This is not very clear, but the intermediate martial arts can be bought at the auction house, and the few disciplines he practiced are not independent martial arts, but they are normal. Ling Xiao is actually a little confused, but Ling Xiao's power is unquestionable. Chapter 18, Continue to Improve. You are listening at novelfull.audio. If Jui knows this, he will tear Ling Xiao live. Ling Fei sneered. Jui shouldn't do it by himself. After all, once he does it, it becomes a handle for others to attack him. It's not a good idea to bully the small and rely on the strong and weak. The spit star will drown people. However, Ling Chong has a cousin named Ling Taishou, second only to Ling Feng in the elite hall, ranking 11th, but he is the third peak of Wu Mai. He is expected to shoot. Back to the residence, Ling Xiao asked the doctor to diagnose his grandpa's body, rib fracture. In fact, treatment is not difficult, but it needs some more precious medicinal materials, and these medicinal materials, it is more expensive. 92 silver pieces that Ling Xiao just got, instantly turned into medicinal herbs money. However, he did not regret it, and he did not lose money when he treated his grandfather. Okay, my son grabbed these medicinal materials. I have written clearly about the topical and internal use. If I persist for 1 month, I should be able to heal. Sent the doctor away. Ling Xiao went to grab the medicine, came back to decoction for grandpa, and then took care of grandpa to rest. He went out again. He is very clear that he hurt Ling Chong, and trouble will surely follow, and he must continue to improve his strength. Today's tiger steps down the mountain has already been cultivated, and it's time to start Xiang Yunbu one step at a time. In order to avoid being disturbed by others, Ling Xiao directly went over the wall and went out of the door, and then reached a jungle 700 or 800 meters away from the Ling's house. Tiger steps down the mountain together with violent tips has already won Ling Fei. I don't know to what extent will Xuanhuan step be powerful. Ling Xiao was a little excited. Through mountains, rivers, and martial arts, Ling Xiao opened Xiang Yunbu one step at a time, but this is just opening. If you want to master it, you have to practice, but it will be easier to practice. This amazing work is amazing work. It is so troublesome and difficult to practice, so the effect will definitely not be bad. Because of this thought in his heart, Ling Xiao was motivated to practice, probably because of the foundation of Tiger Steps Down the Mountain, coupled with the effect of Wu Wu Soul. Ling Xiao took only 1 hour to master the one-step realm of Xiang Yunbu. Although Xiang Yunbu has a total of 9 steps, this is the beginning. However, after trying the effect of Xiang Yunbu, Ling Xiao felt that no matter how hard it was really unjust. He tried the effect of Xiang Yunbu in the forest. The final conclusion is even if you don't use courage secret, this one-day effect of Xiang Yunbu can achieve the perfect effect of Tiger Steps Down the Mountain without using curse secret. In the case of using blood power, it is much better than Big Tiger Down that also uses blood power. This is a step. Isn't this Xiang Yunbu turned out to be not the ultimate martial arts, but advanced martial arts? Otherwise, the effect cannot be so good. Thinking of this, Ling Xiao's motivation to practice Xiang Yunbu is even more sufficient, is very simple. He chose to practice Xiang Yunbu instead of Bull Demon skill because that is not only a good martial art for fighting, but also a good martial art for escape. He has only 1 life in Ling Xiao, and after saving his life, he may continue to grow stronger. Long Chong had been sent to the family medicine hall while he was busy practicing to improve his strength. The Ling family's pharmacy is a place dedicated to refining medicines and healing people. Who hurt my son? Ling Xiao and Ling Tai's hands had arrived in the medicine hall, and after seeing Ling Chong's miserable appearance, Ling Xiao smashed the stone bench on the ground with a sigh of anger. Ling Xiao, the disciple who sent Ling Chong to the medicine hall said tremblingly. Ling Xiao. Is that waste Ling Xiao? Ling Xiao was stunned, but he thought he was a master. How could it be Ling Xiao? It's really Ling Xiao. that guy seems to have mastered the stunts that can be used with a variety of martial arts. The strength is terrible, and brother Ling Xiao is like this in just one move. Waste, Ling Xiao scolded. Yes, that Ling Xiao is indeed waste. I don't mean him, I mean my son Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao was both angry and useless. He did not hesitate to violate the family rules, to get his son back to advanced martial arts, got a lot of immortality, but in the end, his son not only ranked in the elite hall, and even lost to Ling Xiao, was defeated twice in a row, and it was a trick. How stupid is that? Nine uncle, don't be too angry. Whatever you say, Ling Xiao is also your son, Ling Xiao, I will help him clean up. Ling Tai smiled and smiled. Iron Hand, you are still reassuring. Alas, why aren't you my son? Only 1 year older than Ling Xiao, but already mastered the 60% of the God of the Divine Palm, and practiced the martial arts triple peaks. If you deal with Ling, it is as easy as shooting an ant. Lin Jiu seems to be very important to Ling Tai. Nine uncle, for so many years, I have always regarded you as a dear daddy. My father died early. If you were to stay, how could I have today, said Ling Tai. Okay. Good talk. You will be my son in the future. Despite what I want, I must be satisfied. But the dogs have to look at the owner, that Ling Xiao. It is a lesson, but immediately the annual comparison, no anxious, at that time, in front of all the Ling family's children, let the boy not come to Taiwan. Ling Xiao naturally did not know this conversation, even if Yu reading www.yuukangshu.com actually knew. What he should do has not changed. After 1 day, Xiang Yunbu is more demanding, and you must practice 2 intermediate body techniques before you can start the second step. No way. Ling Xiao stopped temporarily and went to practice Meteor Fist and Red Sun Gong. His intention is to practice Meteor Fist and Red Sun Gong to the great consummation, and then go back and choose 2 intermediate body methods to practice. After all, you can't just think about running in combat, you also have to improve your combat effectiveness, and if you want to practice as soon as possible to reach the peak of Wumai Double, you must also practice Qiang Gong and Meteor Fist. In terms of promoting its own strength, martial arts and internal skills are stronger than body skills. And the secret method itself does not help to promote the cultivation of morality, therefore, ordinary martial artists do not practice too much martial arts, and concentrate more on the cultivation of internal skills and martial arts. Spent a day, Ling Xiao is really rewarding. Red Sun Gong has been trained to the 5th floor. Meteor Fist also finally realized the 9th form Meteor Fall. The distance is perfect, and what is lacking is just the fire. This is not what cultivation can bring, and it must be honed through actual combat. At this time, he can clearly see that his true energy is thicker by 50% than that of a day ago through the display on the mountain and river soul. The thicker the true qi, the more times you use breaking qi and the greater the power of Meteor Fist. The most obvious change in the mountains and rivers is the flame in the altar, which is much more vigorous than before. Ling Xiao feels faintly that everything in this mountain and river map seems to have a certain relationship with his body, but it is not yet clear. Chapter 19, Fulong Mountains. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 2 days later, Ling Xiao's Meteor Fist has been cultivated to the great consummation and the state of freedom. According to the standard movements in Shan Wu Hun, it's exactly the same. Chiangong also entered the country quickly, and finally cultivated to the 9-story consummation. The true energy exploded again. At the same time, his cultivation practice also successfully reached the double peak of Wumai. The 2 Wumai have been tempered very strong. Now the intensity of strength, and strength of his body are not lost to the martial arts warriors. Just a week or so, he has jumped from the garbage of other populations, and has become the Wumai double peak warrior, and his strength has increased several times. The source of all this is naturally the awakening of Wuha. Until now, his interest in this mountain and river martial arts has also become stronger and more interested. I just want to break through to the Wumai triple, but I have encountered a little trouble. The breakthrough of the realm must be assisted by certain foreign objects. This not only makes it easier to break through, but also avoids getting into trouble. To put it bluntly, I need the elixir. Similar medicines like breakthrough pill, Huxin pill, and Humai pill. he now has only one breakthrough pill in his hand, which is far from enough. For a safe breakthrough, Huxin pill and Humai pill are necessary, because his life is only once. No one protects the law during the breakthrough, so he can only protect himself. After returning home, Ling Xiao did not go to practice again, but entered the room and began to plan his future. Previous year's events in Derby were not daring to think about, however, it is different now. He is sure that he can definitely break through the Wumai triple on the day of the annual comparison. As long as he can achieve good results in Derby, then he will become a disciple of the Ling family. Since then, he didn't have to worry about many things. He would get more resources, and he would get some money every month, which is quite different from now. Until then, let alone Ling Feng and Ling Fei, even Ling Yixue, even the genius disciples of the rest of the family in Tianfeng City, he would have to surpass all. The effect of mountain and river martial arts seems to be more than just exercises and analysis. There are villages, land, and maybe even herbs. Breed beasts. Pill medicine is nothing more than two sources, one is a plant and the other is an animal. If you want immortality, you must first raise enough materials. If you can grow plants and raise monsters in mountains and rivers, it would be wonderful. Powerful analysis and drill effects, coupled with the effect of training resources, this is simply perfect. Must try. Ling Xiao looked out of the house, and there was a large dense forest in the back of the Ling family. Tianfeng City is surrounded by mountains, and the mountain range is called Fulong Mountain Range. The Fulong Mountains are densely forested and have complicated terrain. The highest altitude is more than 8,000 meters. How big the Fulong Mountain Range is, no one knows, because even if standing on the highest mountain, the entire mountain range cannot be seen through. Legend has it that there is a dragon in the mountain, but no one has ever seen it, but there are a lot of monsters in the mountain. It has always been the fear and love of the warriors. Fear is because the monster is powerful and terrible. Likes, because many materials on the monsters can be sold for money, and can also be used for refining medicine and alchemy. The monster beast is artificially divided into 10 levels. This is the data obtained by the warriors using their own blood and experience. Generally speaking, the level of monsters and warriors is equivalent. For example, the first level monsters are basically equivalent to the warriors with one weight of martial arts, is just a special monster, so in actual combat, the first level monster is stronger than most of the martial arts. The legendary 10th level Beast King can easily destroy a country. That kind of monster is really no one wants to encounter it. Ling Xiao went to the Fulong Mountains, not to make money or hunt monsters, but to find some special herbs and some cubs of monsters, try to see if they can be planted and raised in the mountains and rivers. Once he succeeds, he will be able to raise those rare plants or animals in the future, which can be a great advantage. Walked directly across the wall of the Ling family courtyard, Ling Xiao opened the posture, and performed Xiang Yunbu to the Fulong mountain range. Xiang Yunbu is faster than horseback riding without blood power. If you use blood power it will be even more terrifying, although it consumes true energy. Ling Xiao practiced return qi, basically can guarantee that his true energy consumption will not be too large. Let's talk about it. At the same time as practicing the light exercises, it is also a kind of cultivation itself. Not long ago, Ling Xiao had already reached the periphery of the Fulong Mountains. He dared not enter the forest. Too deep. In case of a brutal monster, even a beast king, he was not enough to die 10 lives. Anyway, he came here only for two purposes. One is to do experiments to see if the mountains and rivers can be planted and cultivated, the other is to collect materials for alchemy. Ling's pharmacy has a special medicine refining and alchemy master. As long as you provide materials and then pay a certain labor cost, then he will refine the medicine for you. Of course, the premise is that you must be a disciple of the Ling family. The moment when he entered the jungle, Ling Xiao suddenly smiled, because he discovered another benefit of Shanhidu. On the mountain and river map, a cloud dispersed and a jungle appeared. It is not difficult to find out if you look closely. This is the Fulong mountain range. It's just that the Fulong mountains shown on this map only have a radius of about 1 kilometer with Ling Xiao as the center. Yu reading www.yuukangshu.com. That if you only show the map, it is not surprising. The key is that there are several options displayed on the map. Herb. The beast. Demon. Humanity. These options can be clicked. If selected, they will be displayed on the map. The herb shows green dots. After clicking, you can see what kind of herb it is, and there will be a simple information display. Beasts show yellow dots, monsters have red dots. There will be a level display after clicking on it. Humans are white dots. After clicking, there is also a simple data analysis, but it is not as detailed as monsters. Seeing this, Ling Xiao was about to laugh with excitement. He felt the magic of his mountain and river martial arts more and more. This picture seems to include the whole world, but it needs some things to trigger before it can be displayed. But the excitement returned to the excitement. He did not forget what he came to do today. Now that this display is available, it is convenient. Ling Xiao's main goal is herbs and monsters below level 3. It has started. Ling Xiao looked at one of the green dots, then rose into the sky and ran towards the green dot. The plant shown by the green dot is a plant called sky vanilla. This herb is the most important herb for refining humidan. The only trouble is that this herb basically grows on cliffs of tens or even hundreds of meters. If it was before, Ling Xiao collected it by himself. Dare not even think about it, but now it's all right, Xuanhuan urged. Stepped on the cliff, 100 or 200 meters high is very easy. Chapter 20, Mountain World. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Get it? Holding Tian vanilla in his hand, Ling Xiao was very excited, because the price of vanilla in the market was not cheap on this day. For this one, it takes 12 silver to buy it. It takes 20 heavenly herbs to refining a pulse-protecting danzu foot. There are a lot of sky herbs near here. Ling Xiao did not do anything at all, pulled out all the long-ripe sky herbs, and landed on the ground. Enter the mountain and river map. He did not forget his purpose of coming this time. Heaven herb, only when used within 1 hour after collection, can the maximum effect be exerted. Although it can be used for a long time, the efficacy is much worse. If it can be said that it can really be planted in mountain and river maps, then this is wonderful. Welcome the Lord of the Mountain and River to enter the mountain and river map again. This is the world of mountain and river martial arts. Inhabiting this mountain and river resident, these residents are good at various skills. Some of them are good at planting, some are good at animal husbandry, and some are good at alchemy. I just entered Ling Xiao in the small village in the mountains and rivers, and suddenly I heard the sound in my mind, but looking for someone, but did not see anyone talking to himself. In short, only you can't think of it, you won't do without them. With the continuous upgrade of the mountain and river map, you will get more help. At present, the second level of the mountain and river map can only recruit second-level farmers and second-level herders. In addition, after the mountains and rivers are upgraded to the second level, there will be shops, and the masters of the mountains and rivers can use these shops to buy the items they need, including weapons, immortals, treasures, tools, etc. All commodities have ordinary grades, fine products, treasures, immortals, 5 grades of divine grade. According to different grades, the effect is different. At present, the mountain and river map is already second level. The store is opened. The first time you open the store, you will receive a lucky draw. The level of the warrior will increase, and the soul of the mountain and river will become stronger, and the level of the mountain and river map will also increase. In general, it is corresponding. For example, the mountain and river dominate the Wumai double repair, and the mountain and river map is 2 levels. The higher the level of the mountain and river map, the more types of products that can be purchased, the higher the grade, and the more powerful the mountain and river residents that can be recruited. It may even recruit the top presences in all walks of life, Wushan, Yaoshan, and craftsmen. God and so on. That was a little dumbfounded by this series of prompts before he recovered, and hurriedly opened the Shanhita store and looked at it. There are only 12 items in it, but they are refreshed every 2 hours. Currently, the commodities in this category are mainly agricultural tools. For example, the of all kinds of products weeding efficiency is increased by 10%, and the service life is increased by 10%. Another example is a high-quality sickle, double the harvesting efficiency, double the service life, and double the effort. These should all be used in the pictures of mountains and rivers. If you give them to the farmers, you can definitely do more with less, but things are not over yet. For the first time, the leader of the mountain and river uses the recruitment function, which can recruit second-level farmers and second-level herders, and can buy ordinary goods. The first recruitment will not consume anything, but only 2 people can be recruited. Please choose. That with this sound, Ling Xiao saw two cards appearing on the mountain and river map. The cards were painted with farmers and herdsmen, and they used a landscape style of painting, which was very beautiful. Cards also show the special effects brought by second-level farmers and second-level herders. Second-level farmers, the efficiency of agricultural production is increased by 10%, and the quality of agricultural production is improved by 10%. Second-level herdsmen, the production efficiency of animal husbandry is increased by 10%, and the production quality of animal husbandry is improved by 10%, that is to say, when planting herbs in mountains and rivers, not only the output efficiency will be improved, but also the quality of the herbs produced will also be improved. The same is true for farmed animals. Ling Xiao excitedly chose a second-level farmer card and a second-level herder card. He intends to grow some herbs and raise several animals at the same time. Let me get familiar with this function first. If it is really very easy to use, I will increase the investment later. See the master of the mountains and rivers, please assign tasks. After choosing to recruit, a white smoke flew in front of me, and soon two people appeared, one dressed as a farmer, probably in his 30s, and the other dressed as a herdsman, also in his 30s. It's just that the farmer is a human being, and the herdsman doesn't look like a human being. But the Tauran tribe that Ling Xiao has seen in the pictures of mountains and rivers, of course, whether it is a human or a Tauran, they can understand what Ling Xiao said, but whether others can understand it is not known. Ling Xiao asked the herdsman of the Nyoto group to go to rest first. Anyway, he hasn't caught the demon cubs yet. Then he handed the hemp herbs he collected to the human farmer and told him, "You plant these herbs, remember, don't break them, these herbs are very precious." Understood. Mountains and rivers dominate. After accepting the order, the farmers went to work. Ling Xiao was a little worried at first, so he followed to observe. After a while, he was completely relieved. This profession is a profession. If he is allowed to grow sky vanilla, it is estimated that no more than half of this bunch of sky vanilla can grow, but all the second-class farmers are all alive and still very fast. Ling Xiao is now looking forward to the future. If you go on like this, if you don't succeed, you can directly recruit the pharmacist in the mountains and rivers. Yu reading www.yuukangshu.com.in. That case, alchemy and alchemy no longer have to look at other people's faces. There are even weapons, tools and the like, which can be completed in the mountain and river map. He did not rush out of the mountains and rivers, because some things had to be carefully understood. Employment of manpower is required to recruit people in mountain and river maps or to purchase goods, and Shanhibi can be exchanged in real currency. For example, Ling Xiao got 100 or 2 silver in reality. He can choose to use it himself, or he can choose to exchange it for Xuanhuan coins. According to the ratio, 12 silver can be exchanged for a mountain and river coin, and recruiting a second-level farmer or a second-level herdsman requires 10 mountain and river coins, which is equivalent to 100 or 2 silver coins, which is not cheap, but the effect is also very amazing. Ling Xiao does not feel a loss, and because of the relatively low level of mountains and rivers, there are only 2 types of residents recruited, and the level is only second level. If your cultivation level continues to increase and the level of mountain and river maps continues to increase, then not only will the number of residents recruited increase, but the level will also increase. By that time, the efficiency of work will naturally be higher. Thinking about this, Ling Xiao is all motivated. He has another reason to improve his strength. Yes, I almost forgot to say that I just opened the store for the first time and gave a lucky draw opportunity to see what good things can be drawn. If I can draw out the medicine, this is what I need most now. That the lottery method is the most common big turntable. There are various items on the turntable, including farm tools, weapons, exercises, immortals and so on. There are even consumable mysterious rewards.